Bank earnings season. Raheel Ahmed is the CEO of RAK Bank with us in the studio. Morning, Raheel.
Pleasure to be with you, Richard.
Good set of numbers for the industry sector, including for you. Yesterday's, we just mentioned in the headlines, 53% increase in annual profit to a record 1.8 billion dirhams. How?
So I keep repeating myself, but mixed macro momentum for us. We have really focused on customer value-added services and deepening relationships. We have also gone through the full spectrum, all the way from microfinance, which we started recently for the financially excluded sector, to growing our corporate bank. So the corporate bank now, while we are known as an SME bank, now represents 28% of our loans and advances. But a lot of our growth has also come from deposits, from fee, from FX, from remittances. So we haven't gone the route of just overfilling ourselves with lending and growth in that perspective. We have tried to keep our growth very well balanced. The second thing I would say to you is also, if you look at our Q4 momentum, you will see that our deposits have grown by 4% from the last quarter, and our assets have grown by 2%. So we are continuing with Q4 momentum as well, and hopefully starting the year on a pretty strong footing as well.
If we look at the banking sector more broadly, clearly the numbers for net profit, the headline numbers, have been stellar so far for the UAE banking sector. Mashreq Brandy mentioned numbers out yesterday, more than 100% increase in profitability. Also, little banks like National Bank of Al Quwain, they're reporting record profit. The rising tide lifting all boats. But you say, to find out what's really happening underneath the banks, to look at not the net profit number, but the operating profit number. Explain why that's important and what it tells us.
Yeah, so your operating profit is naturally your pre-provision number, right? So it's your income minus cost. We have been very good. For every dollar we spent, we got $6 of revenue back, or 6 dirhams of revenue back. So our leverage is 6 times on every cost we spent. Our operating profits are up 43% before provisioning. Now, when you look at provisioning, you will see some banks have increased provisioning, some banks have reduced provisioning. Again, that depends on what was their historical portfolio like, how much provisions they took during COVID, what type of portfolio they had. So based on that, the net profit could go up or down depending on how much provisions you release as well. So we focus a lot. Of course, we build provisions, as you keep saying, and I think you said it yesterday as well. Bad loans are done in good time, so you always need to be cautious that, at some point you will see this benign credit environment slightly changing. I don't think we'll go into a correction, but of course we will see some softness at some point in time. So we remain very cautious, and we've actually built up our provisions, and we have one of the highest provision coverage ratios in the industry as well.
Net interest income was up for you and other banks as well. Rising interest rates last year tends to help banks' profitability. But yet we're going to be, we think, in a shrinking interest rate environment this year. The Fed, everyone expects them to cut interest rates this year. The debate is how much and when, not whether they're going to cut interest rates. How will that impact?
Yeah, so it will definitely, absolutely has been a tailwind for all the banks. You see the net interest income rising. So as rates come down, it will also depend on the sustainability of your earnings, the diversity of your earnings. I think every bank will feel the impact of rates coming down. But if you look at our non-interest income, it grew by 18%. Our deposits, our CASA ratios are up at 66, 67%. Coming back to SMEs, we opened 15,000 accounts. And one thing I was very pleased with was that almost 18% of the new SME accounts we opened were female entrepreneurs, which is something we haven't talked about in the past, but we had 2,700 female-led SME new accounts that we opened, which I think is a really good trend, increasing, perhaps still not where it needs to be, but we opened 18% female entrepreneurs as well.
Raheel, how does those new SME accounts and indeed your new customers in general compare to the big spikes that we saw population-wise in 2022 and arguably 2021? What's that graph looking like?
So I think pretty diversified, I would say. We still feel like, yes, there is population growth. I think a lot more younger people are exploring with businesses much earlier in their careers. I think when we were growing up, or when we started our professional life, you would wait 10, 15, 20 years before you jumped into something of your own. I think the younger generation is much more sort of not risk takers, but more confident of themselves to start new ideas. So you see a lot younger business people and a lot younger businesses starting as well.
And what are you seeing in new customers and in general, new individual customers? What kind of uptick did you see in 2023?
So we are up net around 7%. So we added around 40,000 net new accounts. As I mentioned to you when we last spoke as well, we look at engaged customers. In a digital world, you can open millions of accounts, right? How many of them actually bank with you, make a bill payment, make a remittance, get their salary in? And we are very, very focused on ensuring that we get engaged customers.
Do you know what percentage of that are new residents to the UAE? Could you put a ballpark on it?
I wouldn't have the exact number, but I would say that almost 50% of them would be new customers. And as I mentioned, on the SME side, 70% of the SME accounts we have opened are businesses which have been established less than 1 year in the UAE.
Let's talk about Ras Al Khaimah's new financial district, which was unveiled yesterday by the developer Marjan. You're not directly involved in that. Marjan is a private company, but we can't let a new financial district be announced in Ras Al Khaimah without speaking to the CEO of the biggest bank in Ras Al Khaimah about it. Why does RAK need a financial centre?
I think it's a great place to be. I was there, at the Ras Al Khaimah Championships playing a little bit of golf over the weekend. And it has a very different vibe. So I think you were saying as well. So the New Jersey to New York, the Silicon Valley to San Francisco. I think there is space for different types of centers across the UAE. The whole UAE is doing very, very well, and RAK is doing extremely well in terms of attracting businesses. Right. So we saw our RAK free zone accounts increasing by almost 500 versus last year in terms of the number of accounts we opened. So my sense is you will see more diversity. I think there's a lot of companies that we shouldn't just compare it to Dubai or Abu Dhabi. There could be international companies that want to be based there where, you don't need to go to work every day. So if you asked 20 years ago about Dubai or Abu Dhabi, you would most probably also be a bit skeptical, but they've all worked and they've all worked brilliantly. So why not Ras Al Khaimah?
And what about those companies in Ras Al Khaimah? Because looking at the artist's impressions, you've got the beach and the golf course on one side, but behind the financial district is the industrial area. I was mentioning earlier, I said, if you go to the toilet today, it may well be provided by RAK Ceramics when you go to the toilet today, rather than if. But it's companies like that, some of which have been around for 20 years. You've got Jilfar, the pharmaceutical company. I mean, we could go on.
Yeah. And there are more and more new companies coming as well. So as the ecosystem increases, you need more accountants, you need more marketing companies, you need more financing companies. So you are already seeing a lot of interest in Ras Al Khaimah. You are seeing new companies being set up directly from the outside, and I think that ecosystem needs a hub where it sort of comes together. And just like the industrial hub or the hospitality hub, I don't think there's any harm in having a central business hub as well. I think it'll do very well.
20 seconds left. CEO of a bank, what keeps you up at night for 2024?
I think one is the number of rate cuts by the Fed. We hope that, the hawkish views of 6 or 8 rate cuts don't happen because they'll have an impact on the bank. But naturally, the geopolitical tensions are also a worry. The UAE is a safe haven. It does very well. And, it's sort of the oasis of stability. But clearly, the region is not in a very good situation right now.
Raheel, great to talk to you. Appreciate your time this morning. Raheel Ahmed, CEO of RAK Bank. Thanks for coming.
Pleasure.
By 103.8.
Join the conversation.